What's going on, guys? It's your boy Corboy. We're back at it again today with a new video. And today, actually, something I've been wanting to talk about. It actually involves a little bit about Halo because you all know I'm a Halo guy. I gotta talk about Halo still because that's something that I fucking care about. Today, our topic of conversation is operations. It's a thing to talk about. It's something that I've actually been like kind of thinking about here recently about how can the operation system be made to be better than what it currently is. So, if we go through here on the operations, so we're going to start with our technically first one after they decided to do no more seasons in the game. I will say season 5 had two. There was Combined Arms, which was a free 20 tier operation. It was great, super fucking fun. A lot of stuff in here, and it actually kind of felt worth it because you already had season 5 and you didn't have to pay for anything in it. It felt very much worth it. After that, there was Winter Contingency, which was pretty cool. This was kind of before we knew a lot more about them going into the operations thing. So, yet again, this one not mad about. Of course, it's like $5 or $10. Yeah, it's 500. It's $5. It's for the premium pass. It just comes with this singular coding. It's meh, whatever. Not my thing. Not really something that I care about. But then our first one, when they announced that we're going to operations and no longer doing seasons, there is Spirit of Fire. And I will say this, Spirit of Fire felt very much worth it. You got the really cool Evolved MA5 skin for your AR. It also came with a weapon coating as well that just throws it back to the old school Halo like style with just like the gray. Um, a lot of really cool emblems in here, a lot of charms, and also you had other weapon skins, a fuckload of armor for the Mark IV, a visor, a vehicle coating, armor coating. This one felt kind of worth it. You also had the double XP boost and everything, so this one wasn't that bad. Like I didn't mind this one. Um, After that, we had what is it? Yeah, Cyber Showdown 3, which has personally been my favorite. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. It only does come with this armor coating, which, to be fair, not the greatest. It's a bit of a letdown, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Of course, yet again, a lot of emblems, a lot of double XP boosters, a lot of charms, some really cool charms too, especially this one. The Viral Machine is fucking sick. And then also, probably some of the best armor we've ever had for Chimera. If you're looking for free armor, this is the way to go. This armor just looks really good. This helmet's fucking insanely cool. A lot of really cool like weapons coatings, some good armor coatings as well in here. And then after that, we had the Yappening 2. Personally, probably one of my least favorites. Just not a lot of stuff in here. It's all grunt themed, so it's cool, but it's not my favorite when it comes to like armor and everything. Of course, just our standard shit in here. And then after that, there was Banished Honor, which is when we finally seen the iteration of Spartan Points. Here, I actually like this one quite a bit. I think this coat's fucking ugly as hell, but the armor in here is really cool. I do fuck with it a lot. It feels worth it. Um, and then there was Tannerai 4. Meh. If y'all don't know, this is when XDefiant came out. I really wasn't playing Halo 2 too much at that time. And honestly, I didn't really care to even miss this one just because I don't think this has much in it that I really care about. And then there was Anvil, which was all Elite themed or Sanguinelli themed. And this is really sick. Like, this is a good one. Had a really good weapon skin in here. We had a cool coating for weapons. Really good armor. This helmet is sick as hell. I do love this armor quite a damn bit. Then there was Fleetcom, personally one of my favorites as well. Good weapon skin, good armor, a lot of really cool stuff. We've seen the exchange get more expanded upon. Of course, there was the introduction of the Haunted Grind, so if you want to do that, you can do that now. And now we're over to Champions, which is not bad. Cool armor in here. I don't really run it that much, but it is cool armor. But the thing I'm here for is, of course, is the BR skin, just because it looks like the DMR from Halo Reach, which is kind of sick. There is a lot of content missing, though, in this one. But I'm not going to talk about like maybe the content that comes with each season, rather it's multiplayer maps, firefight maps, or ranked, whatever it may be. That stuff's cool. That we just don't know a lot about. That just happens whenever those updates come out or it gets closer to it. What I want to talk about is actually the content that is within these operations and what can be done to make them a little bit better. I do personally think I don't hate how much armor is in here, but I think there could be more stuff that's a little bit more earnable. Um, and maybe instead of doing the 20 tier system, maybe you could do like season 5 did where it's 50 or maybe even 40 or 30. Just give people a little bit more to go for, give them more to do in the game, give them a reason to keep playing it after they hit that level 20 mark. Which I do think the Haunted grind really did help with that. It gave people a reason to play. If they didn't want to buy it, hey, you can just grind it if you want. So I think it's a good grind to have in the game. It just helps. And I mean, even looking at my stuff, I mean, I completed the operation pretty fucking fast, and also I have everything from this season that I wanted, bought from the exchange. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not a Haunted fan. I don't care about this. This just does not bother me. Um, and I don't care about vehicles since I never use vehicles, so I just didn't buy that. But everything else in here I've bought and I have. So I don't know. I feel like there could be some more expansion with these seasons or operations overall. Maybe some more skins, maybe some different coding, stuff like that. Maybe just more to overall go for. Something I've talked about in the past about Halo. One thing I do hope that we see in the next Halo iteration is I want a full fucking challenge system. Like, sure, play a match, but you also have like a daily that gives you some extra stuff as well. Is like cool. It's fine. That I don't care to say. And they would actually give us some more daily challenges, like 4 or 5, that actually allow us to obtain levels or Spartan points, whatever it may be. Also, the weekly challenges, yet again, fine. But I wouldn't mind if we had like, this is here for an entire month, so like 3 to 4 weeks. We have these operations. I don't even like week 1, 2, 3, 4 challenges that allow us to earn something at the end. I just think that would be more of a reason to continue playing the game. It gives you more to go for overall, and I do think that actually helps a lot with player retention. Is those things that are just kind of worth grinding out and actually going for those things. That's what people look for in a lot of games, especially me as a grinder. I look forward to those challenges coming out. Like, I don't know, say it's like, get this many kills with this weapon, play this mode and win this many matches in this mode. Stuff like that. Not only does that, one, help the player pool play more modes that may be less populated, which is really fucking good for the game. I think that's genuinely a phenomenal thing to have, is like weird little oddball modes that have challenges tied to them, so people actually go out of their way to play them, because a lot of those modes get abandoned. For example, I play a lot of the Rumble Pit playlist, and if y'all don't know, I did a video not too long ago saying, why don't I go for the most Kongs worldwide? Go for the world record of it. Here's the issue. There's a mode in Rumble Pit called Kong Slayer. The issue is you never get that mode. No one really fucking plays it, so it kind of has just been left to be abandoned. You'll get it very, very seldomly, and it's really fun. I do enjoy the mode. I love a good party mode. I just think they're super fun to have in a game. They're very good to have in games like Halo, Call of Duty, even like Gears of War and stuff like that. They're just overall, they help keep the player base involved. If they don't want to play super sweaty, they can go play a party mode. It's worth it. But I do want to see this like more fleshed out and more like content, involved in it. Yet again, I know that Halo Infinite's had a very rocky development. I'm pretty sure from last that we heard, they're already working on the next project for the team, trying to piece that together. So do I expect to really see this in Halo Infinite? No, not necessarily, but I do hope we see it in the next Halo game. And I think it would be really good because if I'm being honest, I'm going to agree with a certain crowd that I typically don't agree with. But they're kind of right when they say it. Halo Infinite doesn't really have a lot of content that is worth going for. The game's fun. The game feels great to play. There's just not really that reward factor for playing it. The only thing that I will say that I've noticed people have started doing to keep this game really interesting for themselves is going for those like world record medals and everything. For example, like Tyra and Bob, who were two insane snipers in the Halo community, going for the world's most no-scopes, which Tyra currently holds. She's an absolute beast and stuff like that. I know she stopped her grind because she earned everything she wanted. Now she's wanting to focus on like other things in like the realm of Halo and stuff like that. But there's stuff like that, and then, I mean, if you even know me, if you watch my streams, you watch my content, I go for Halo trick shots. It's something that I have to do just to keep myself involved in the game, just because it's like, that's a little challenge I can set up for myself. I don't think anybody in the world of Halo currently has spent more time spinning in the air than I have, just because it's super fun to go for shots. It adds a level of enjoyment to the game for me. It gives me a reason to go for something that people just aren't really doing. So I don't know. To me, that's just kind of where I stand on it right now. I do hope in the next Halo iteration we do have more content like challenges, rather they're weekly, dailies, but I've mentioned it before in other videos that one thing I would like to see is overall career challenges. To me, that is a huge part for a lot of games that have a multiplayer aspect to them. I don't think they've ever been really the biggest in Halo other than back in the day when it was like, hey, you do this, you earn this armor, stuff like that. Just like that career motivation, or on top of that, having your level and everything. But I love a good career challenge. Give me something to grind out that gives me either like emblems, nameplates, fucking what is it? These little backgrounds on your stuff, coatings, armor. Like, give me a reason to play the game and actually have stuff to earn, or shit, they can give me things even like weapon skins or coatings. Like, that's totally fine. And I mean, I hate to admit it, but it's one thing that does kind of actually like make me want to play that said game is the Call of Duty camo grind. It's there every single year. It's something that is just kind of iconic to the series of like, hey, go earn this. Like, you have the ability to just go do it. You have to do all these weapons. And I think having something like that in Halo would be really, really good. Is like a whole career thing to knock out to really show like, hey, you have put the time and dedication, and also keeping this level grind in there too. The hero grind is super fun to do, even though you may not get the most out of it. You do get some cool shit, but it's just a cool grind to have, and it shows really who has been dedicated to playing as long as they have. Who has put in the most hours into this game and stuff of that nature. To me, I think it's just super good to have in there, and I would like to see it more expanded upon with like career challenges and career things to go for within the game. Because, I mean, just saying, like looking at this, there's not a lot to go for. And then even just like looking into the customization stuff, a lot of this is buyable or stuff that you earned through the battle pass, which of course I have them all completed. So I have all of this. A couple of these, of course, I've bought. Like this, like I just bought Lechuza a couple of days ago. I have plenty of stuff that I've bought in here. There are some coatings and stuff that you can earn through the campaign, which is pretty cool. I do fuck with that. I like having those campaign earnables. I wish there was some more in this game. I think it'd be really, really good for the game. Just having more reasons to actually play the campaign is good for Halo. Like, it's a really good thing. To go back and revisit that story and go earn those things, I think it's just good for the game overall. And shit, I wouldn't even mind seeing at one point if they do decide to go with the whole armor core aspect of Halo Infinite into the next Halo. I think another really cool idea that would be awesome to see brought to the table would be core specific challenges. So if y'all remember back when Black Ops 3 came out, you had your operators, which were all different, and they had actual challenges tied to them. If you completed this on this character, you would earn this skin for that character. It would be really cool to see something like that involved with the armor cores themselves, where it's like, hey, do this with this core while it's equipped, and you'll earn this coating for it and stuff like that. I think it would just be really cool to have those things where it shows like people have actually put time into the game, other than the hero rank. I think that's kind of a small thing to have in there. It's kind of just like, okay, whatever. And I'll be honest with you, there's people who've hit hero that are really good players, there's people who've hit hero that are really bad players. I think showing those like actual like top of the line, like people who actually put the effort in and the time in to earn everything, I think it should be able to be displayed within the game. And I think having stuff like that would be really cool. Like, I would love to see like like something that's kind of like themed around the core itself. Like, for example, like Rakakashakasha, my favorite core in the fucking game. Y'all know I love this core. It'd be cool to have, challenges like tied to it where it's like, oh, like this is kind of like to a degree like a hunter type fucking armor core. It's like get in like melee kills, get back smacks, get ninjas, stuff like that. Have things that kind of like fit around the core that allow you to actually use it and actually like progress with it to its fullest degree. I just think it'd be something good to have in the game, or even have weapon specific challenges, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Like get a certain amount of kills with the AR, or get a certain amount of kills with the sidekick, stuff like that. Now, while I don't want them to go back to classes, and I understand Halo is a game that is very big on power weapons, you're using power weapons quite a fucking bit. Like, it's not going to be an impossible task, and it doesn't have to be a huge grind. It's just something to earn as you are playing. I think having more content like that would just be really good. Now, if we're talking things that I would like to see changed gameplay-wise in Halo that I think would be really, really sick, personally, this is where we're going to kind of stray away from content things. We're going to actually talk about things in gameplay-wise, because I actually think this would be a really cool thing to see in Halo 7, or whatever the fuck they're going to call it. I don't know. I'm not a developer. It would just be something that I would like to personally see. This may sound weird. I don't want classes back, but hear me out here. This may sound crazy. I think customizable weapons in Halo should be a thing, just because it would add a lot of different gameplay purposes to Halo, and actually kind of expand on Halo's natural gameplay and allow you to kind of formulate playstyles into it. One thing I actually really like about Call of Duty, especially back in the day, before like metagaming was like a huge thing, was everybody ran classes that kind of fit their own playstyle. It was personalizing yourself in that game with this class that you were running. And I think if Halo had things where you could like customize weapon attachments, which we all know within like books and stuff, you see guns with like certain attachments and shit on them, like having the AR, whether it's the MA5 or the MA40, whichever one it may be, being able to equip like a red dot sight on it, or a suppressor, extended mag, fast mag, like stuff like that, I think would just be really cool. And then on the power weapons as well, I think it would just be super sick to have overall, because if you like fight for that power weapon, you pick it up, you get to use your version of that power weapon, and then if you die with it, somebody can pick it up and use whatever you have on it. I think it would just be overall a really cool thing to have within Halo, and add a lot of different playability with certain weapons, a lot of different playability with like map control and stuff like that. And I just think it'd be really cool to see just some way to expand upon Halo's gameplay. Now, I will say this: should they test it out in a multiplayer setting first? I mean, I think they probably should do like a testing run of it, see how it feels. Maybe have it in like a beta or some shit of being like, here, try this out. This is like the beta of it. And if people don't like it, just take it out of the game. It's whatever. It's fine. I also wouldn't mind them trying it out in like a single player aspect, and then maybe me just being like, okay, people are actually really liking this in the the campaign or whatever, maybe in like a single player way. Let's see how it works in multiplayer. Halo has a lot of uniqueness to its multiplayer standpoints, and there's games that have had, in my opinion, really, really good Halo multiplayers, and games that have had not as good Halo multiplayers. I do love them all in their own unique ways, but I feel like if we keep kind of like building off of the core aspects of Halo, it's only going to get better. And I feel like it's going to add just a lot of different things that people want to come in and try out, and I think having those ways of expanding, it'll attract more players. Now, of course, we all know in Halo 4 you had the loadout system, and a lot of people didn't like it. I don't necessarily hate it, but it's not my favorite thing. I'm a big fan of even starts, but I wouldn't mind if take the even starts thing and kind of expand upon of being like, okay, even starts, but you can customize your weapon to play anyway. And I think it'd just be really good for the game. It would add a lot of different versatility to these maps and stuff of that nature. One thing I don't want to see them stray away from is Halo Infinite's movement, because I personally like it, and if you're going to change it in any way, go either... I don't think you would ever get a game that has classic Halo movement in it. I know that's going to upset people. It's whatever. Like, if you don't like it, don't fucking play it. That's where I'm at with it. Just, okay, it's fine. If you want a game that has, like, super classic movement in it, I don't know, go play Counter-Strike or something. Like, Counter-Strike has that movement. It's very slow. There's, like, a little bit of tech in it that you can use to get around to certain areas in the map and stuff of that nature. So go play that if you don't like it, or just go play MCC, because those games are still readily available. But if they aren't going to do Halo Infinite's movement, if they do classic Halo movement, like I said, I'm not going to complain. It would really throw us for a curveball, I think, for a little bit. And we'd be like, oh shit, okay, this is a little weird. If they're not going to go for that, I'd say go back to kind of like the Halo 5 movement style, which was fucking perfect. It was super cool, super techy, which is one thing I really liked about Halo 5. It was like a game you had to get good at. It had a really crazy good skill gap in it that was just super fun. I know a lot of the casual player base aren't really a fan of that, but as someone who does put a lot of time into games, I think having a skill gap is really good for a game overall, and Infinite does have it. I think, but Infinite has a manageable skill gap, where casual players can still have fun, but the top of the line players know a lot of these like movement tricks and stuff like that, and even like some of them I don't even fucking know how to do half the time. Sometimes it just randomly happens, and I'm like, oh, did that was cool. But I think it'd just be cool to see some things expanded upon within the next Halo. Aside from the cosmetic progressional stuff, it'd be cool to see stuff with like different weapons and stuff like that. Like, what can you do with these? Like, even right here, to a degree, I feel like some of these two specifically, or even this as well, were kind of a hint towards, this game was going to have weapon attachments in it, because you have like a suppressor is what this looks like, and then you have a barrel shroud or a flash protector, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This looks like a different version of like the stock almost. It kind of like has the stuff on top of the stock. I guess that'd be like for recoil management. This makes me think that they were thinking about doing these things and they just did not have the ability to do so, or it was scrapped last second. Yet again, there's a lot about the Halo Infinite development. There was a lot of hell in that, and I feel super bad for the team. And I do hope that doesn't happen with, Halo 7 or whatever they decide to call it. But I don't know. I just would like to see these things expanded upon and see some new things added with it as we go through time and we get the next Halo iteration. But other than that, though, I think it's all I'm going to talk about today. I know there wasn't gameplay today. I'm super sorry about that, but sometimes I just have to sit here and talk about Halo for a little bit, and some things that I would like to see in the next title, because to me, this is a really big topic, something that should be talked about, things that we should, have in mind of, well, what do we want to see in the next game? Because we're the players. We matter to these games. While the dev teams matter too, we are the reasons these dev teams exist. We kind of correlate here. We exist for each other, and I think we need to start understanding that more and start talking about these things, and without being a critical asshole or just a dickhead. It's okay to be critical. It's just not okay to be a dickhead. We got to remember that. But other than that, though, guys, I'm going to hop out of here. I love you all. And, stop by the stream tonight. Come hang out. I love you all. Later.